So I think I'll tell this story tonight and release it in the morning, so I'm not overloading the YouTube algorithm. And I'll just set it to release in the AM. So we had a guy come into the shop. He's got this like green colored 2014, 2015 Ford Taurus 3.5. Quick lanes all backed up. I see what's going on down there. I'll jump down there and help them every once in a while, help get the customers out of the shop. I go pull the filter for this guy's car. I'm draining everything, get everything knocked out nice and clean. Drain plug torqued, the whole spiel, nice and, half, three-quarter turn like I always do. Put my name on the bottom of the filter. Just tidy, clean job. So I pull the vehicle out of the shop. The guy's just here for an oil change. That's it. He doesn't want anything else. So I don't even inspect the vehicle. Get it in, do the oil change, pull it around. I pull the vehicle out front, and the guy goes out there, gets in his car. I come back to my stall. I get my next job. Start working on my next job. And all of a sudden, I hear all this commotion, this yelling, this screaming and stuff that's going on. And they say, well, this guy says you backed into somebody else's car. And he's got one of his sensors is not fitting in the hole properly in the bumper. So I'm thinking to myself, I didn't even come close. There was no cars behind me. There was no cars in any of the stalls. It was a kind of a slow day where people were just coming in for oil changes and stuff. And this is a time where a couple of the guys were out on vacation, so there's literally nothing in their stalls. So I go to back the car out, clear behind me, pull the vehicle around, no issue at all. Nothing to even come close to. Park the guy's vehicle, make sure all my fingerprints and stuff are wiped off. But this guy's adamant that I changed his oil and backed into another vehicle. Knocked his little backup proximity sensor thing, his sonar sensor in the back for proximity, loose. So he says, look, can you just pull it back in the shop? And there's a part of me that says, no, fuck that guy. I didn't touch his car. Go to the security footage, see what happened, and tell him to get the hell out of here. But I kept my cool. That's what I wanted to say. I kept my cool. This guy's being a complete jag-off, raising his voice, screaming and everything else. You guys did this and you did that. You're going to pay for this. I get the vehicle in the shop, furthest stall away from where all the glass and stuff is. We're going to call the guy back here, away from all the windows and stuff, so we can talk to him out here in case he wants to start raising his voice and stuff again. He comes out, he's standing there, watches me pull the vehicle in, watches me rack it up in the air and stuff like that. And I'm looking at this thing, and I was like, sir, look at your sensor underneath the car. The two plastic tabs that grab the side of the sensor, they've been previously glued. There's glue on them right now. I didn't do this. And he looks up there and he's like, oh, why? I thought you did that. I said, sir, I didn't do this. I said, actually, great, let's lower the vehicle a little bit. So we lower the vehicle a little bit and look at it from an angle. Look at all the stress cracks that are down the side of the corner of your bumper where that is. Somebody backed into something. This has been sitting here for a while because those stress cracks start to turn dark over time. They're not so fresh and like that white stress look. This has been here for a while. Somebody climbed under here and tried to repair this before we could get the sensor to stay in because they probably didn't have the right epoxy to do it. I can fix it for you right now to get you out of here, but you basically lied on me and you blame me for this, and you created my manager stood there and listened to me tell this guy, you created a big commotion in front of the dealership and you embarrassed us. I'm going to fix it for you right now. But please don't ever go to an establishment and blame somebody for something that happened previously if you don't know that it happened. So I get my, we use some, what was it, Ford. Ford has their version of Crazy Glue. It's the same thing. Just like Crazy Glue. I clean everything up real good. I go get an abrasive brush and I scratch the surface up real good, real good. And I clean the surface, wipe it all down with some rubbing alcohol, and then I put a thin bead of that Crazy Glue, that Ford stuff, and the Instant Gel, and I shove that tab back on and I'm holding it there. And the guy's embarrassed, you can tell. Red in the face, he's embarrassed, he won't look at me. He knew he got caught in his lie and blaming me for this. And he'd actually mentioned something to the service writer, which the service writer didn't pick up right away, about his backup sensor not being quite straight. The service writer forgot about it until the end, until all this was going on, and was like, wait a second. So right as I get done installing the sensor and stuff, the service writer looks at him and says, when you came in here, you had briefly just quickly brushed over the fact that the sensor wasn't sitting in the hole straight, but now you're blaming my technician for it. Why don't you take your car and don't come back to the dealer again, please? Take your car. It's fixed for you. It's gonna stay in there. Don't use our dealership anymore. It's bad business. We don't like that. Don't come back. The one time, one of few times where I've actually seen somebody at the dealer stand up to the customer and say, we don't need your business. We don't want you doing that to us here. Go somewhere else. Made my day. Really, really, really made my day. Y'all be blessed.